アンパンお好きなんですか?
Welcome back to another episode of Anime Food in Real Life. Today we'll be making red bean buns, or known as Anpan from Gintama. Anpan is shown throughout this anime so many times that every single time I rewatch it, I crave red bean buns. Though the characters in the show seem to despise Anpan, I promise you the recipe today is delicious. For the dough, you're going to need 2 cups and 1 teaspoon of bread flour, 8 teaspoons of white granulated sugar, a 4th teaspoon of kosher salt, active dry yeast that has been bloomed. For steps explaining activating yeast, check the description, and 6 tablespoons plus 2 teaspoons of milk. Attach your dough hook attachment and let it go on medium speed until the dough starts to form. This entire process may take between 10 to 15 minutes. You want to make sure your dough forms together and that it pulls away from the bowl, and when you remove it from the hook like right now, the dough is tacky. It shouldn't completely stick to your hands though. If you find that the dough is sticking too much to your hands, oil your hands with a little bit of unsalted butter. Gather your dough ball and place it onto a clean flat surface. Now we're going to be kneading in the unsalted butter. We're using 40 grams of butter, which is roughly 3 tablespoons of butter. You can definitely still use the stand mixer to knead your dough, but I like kneading by hand, so this way I can test the elasticity of the dough and make sure I don't overwork it. This process is going to take a little bit of time, probably 10 to 15 minutes. And also don't panic if you feel like everything is getting too greasy and slippery. Trust the process and keep going. The butter will eventually be fully absorbed into the dough and you'll end up with a very elastic dough. Then in a greased bowl, you're going to place your dough into it and cover with plastic wrap. Place your dough in a warm space in your kitchen and proof for 1 hour or until doubled in size. By now, your dough should have doubled in size. Remove the plastic and remove the dough from the bowl. On screen, my dough is kind of sticking to the bowl right now, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just because I didn't put enough oil or butter beforehand. Once you've gotten your dough out of the bowl, place your dough onto a cutting board and begin to stretch and pull it. You want to pull it so it's almost the length of my cutting board, which is almost 10 inches. I think right now it's between 8 inches, and we're just going to cut it in half. Then we're going to take each half and stretch it out a little bit just so we can make 3 even cuts. Repeat this to your other dough log, then you should end up with 6 dough balls. To shape those 6 pieces into spheres, you're going to take 1 piece at a time and basically roll it against the cutting board by pushing down against the ball. I also find that making a claw shape while you roll it helps keep the ball in a circular shape. And now you're just going to repeat this process until all of the pieces of dough are into little spheres. Once all the dough balls are formed, rearrange them evenly spaced on the cutting board so that they're not touching. You want a good amount of space between them and then cover with plastic wrap and proof for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, your dough should have doubled in size again. You're going to keep the plastic wrap on the other balls while you work with 1 at a time. Pick up 1 dough ball and basically smush it down to release the air. Then you're going to stretch it out and create a bigger circle and then place it flat on the cutting board. Smooth out the surface of it, then get ready to place in the red bean paste. I'm using store-bought red bean paste today because I didn't have time to make it. This is the brand I use. You're going to be putting 2 tablespoons of red bean paste into each ball. With the red bean paste in the center, you're going to pick up the edges of the dough and just fold in the extra dough, kind of like a dumpling. Then flip it over so it's seam side down and roll it against the cutting board to seal. Then I'm just going to shape it so it's more perfect into a full sphere and then move on to the next ones. Repeat this process until all of your buns are made. I'm choosing to make 6 buns with this recipe, but you could have cut it into 8 to make 8 smaller buns as well. When you're done filling your buns, place them onto a parchment-lined baking sheet and then cover with plastic wrap and proof for 40 minutes. Now we're going to make an egg wash. You're going to need 1 large egg with 2 tablespoons of water, whisk to fully combine. Now your bun should have doubled in size again. You're going to remove the plastic wrap, then brush the tops with the egg wash you just made. Make sure you brush the tops completely and don't forget to get the sides of the buns as well. You can also brush the tops with heavy cream and milk as well, since these are milk buns and they'll also get color that way. Or for an even shinier presentation, you can take the 1 large egg and mix it in with heavy cream or milk. It'll add a little bit more sweetness into the aroma while your bread is baking as well as a nice glisten on the top of your buns. Now we're going to sprinkle some white granulated sugar over the tops of the buns, probably about 2 teaspoons per bun, but honestly I'm just eyeballing right now. Then I'm going to top the tops with some sesame seeds. Then bake at 325 degrees for 18 minutes. When the buns are done, place them onto a wire rack and let them cool to room temperature. Aren't they beautiful? I'm so ready to break one open. Please be careful when you do though, the insides are super hot still. I wanted to show you guys what the buns look like immediately from the oven, so I did not wait and they are super hot. This is what the bun looks like on the inside, and now let's see how fluffy it is. Wow. I finished making these buns right as golden hour hit us in our backyard, so I went outside to get some beauty shots. Here I am breaking the bun open once again once it's completely cooled. Well, I should say the outside of the bun is cool, the inside could still be warm, so please be careful. I really hope you guys try this recipe though, because nothing beats a warm red bean bun made from home. These buns are absolutely perfection. The milk buns are soft, pillowy, fluffy, and chewy, and they've got a nice bite to it. And the red bean paste is smooth, sweet, and silky. These buns will be perfect paired with coffee, milk, or even tea. And I'm willing to bet the detectives from Gintama would love my version of Anpan if they were able to have it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!